Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Bitrix24 Telephony webinar. My name is Dmitry Davidov. I am Bitrix24 Chief Marketing Officer, and I will be talking about telephony and telemarketing options available to you inside your Bitrix24 accounts. Just a quick reminder, Bitrix24 is available in cloud and as a self-hosted solution. So you're able to install Bitrix24 on your own server. If necessary, the mother company, Bitrix Inc., has been founded in 1998, so we've been around for quite a while, almost for 20 years. And Bitrix24 is our leading cloud product that is used by more than 2 million companies worldwide. One of the reasons why Bitrix24 CRM is so popular. Again, another reminder, we have been voted among 10 best CRM systems in the world by PC Magazine for the second year in a row, along Salesforce and SAP and Zoho and others. Part of the reasons why Bitrix24 CRM is so popular is the integrated telephony. Integrated means you can use Bitrix24 telephony with minimal setup, or in some instances, no setup at all within a minute of registering your Bitrix24 account. So, because we do have a lot of international clients, here is the list of the countries where you are able to rent local phone numbers. We do understand that a lot of businesses are international. A lot of businesses, or at least some businesses, they may be based in India, but most of their clients will be in UK or US, so the need for ability to rent local phone numbers in various countries is very real, and Bitrix24 gives you these options. I also want to encourage you to install Bitrix24 mobile app on your iPhones or Androids. One of the most popular phone rental scenarios is when you rent a phone number and forward it to your mobile phone number. Of course, anytime you forward calls from one number to another, you're charged for outbound phone call. But if you use our mobile app, this is absolutely free, so you can rent as many numbers as you want in various countries. And when you are using our mobile app, you do not pay any fees other than the rental fees for the numbers. Here are some of the features that are available to you. And the last two on the list, IVR, the interactive voice response, and automatic dialer, have been added just recently. And this is the reason why I'm re-recording this webinar, because I want to show you these two new features. Our rates are extremely competitive. For the United States, Canada, UK, India, it's 1.5 cents. In Brazil and Mexico, it's actually 0.5 cent a minute. There are island nations where Bitrix24 is very popular, like Indonesia, Philippines. Here the rates are a bit more expensive, and you can see the rates at our pricing page. We have a special section for the call rates. So these are 200 developers who are responsible for the product. We have 6 different offices. These are the folks that make it happen. And let me switch into my demonstration account and start showing you the features that I want to talk about. So before I go into CRM and telephony, I want to remind you that we have free call-in options that are absolutely free of charge. If you want to call your fellow employees inside your Bitrix24 account, you're able to do so without paying anything. You do not need to deposit telephony credits. So audio calls, video calls, internal extensions, those calls are absolutely free. You're also able to make outbound phone calls here, or you can use our dial pad. If you are making outbound phone calls, then you do need to have telephony credits deposited. But again, if you want to have video conferencing, for up to 4 people. You know, this is available to you absolutely free of charge. Okay, so that's internal calls. Let's talk about calls to and from the CRM, because this is probably the most common scenario. So, like I said, you can start making phone calls right away. You do not need to set up anything. All you need to do is deposit telephony credits. So one popular scenario is, you know, just, let's say I have a lead, I want to talk to him or her. All I need to do is click this number here, and I will be able to talk to the person. This is actually Bank of America IVR menu, because I will be talking about IVR. I want you to hear what an IVR is. Okay, so I think their IVR is...
This call may be recorded. Welcome to Bank of America. To get started, please say or enter your telephone access ID or your
I can add comments
number
during the call if I want to. So let me finish this phone call and hang up. And let me show you that this phone call has been logged and recorded. So we're talking, you know, this is April 10th. This is...
This call may be recorded. Welcome to Bank of America. To get started, please say or enter your telephone access.
Okay, so very similar thing happens when you receive inbound phone call. You see your pop-up window with your client information. You're also able to record the call. You're able to add comments. So this is how it works for individual phone calls. Another popular scenario is auto dialing is when you have to call multiple phone numbers. Let's say you have Christmas sale coming up. You want to let your clients know about a special. So here I've selected a group of leads, and if I click start dialing, I will call all of those numbers in my list. So this is literally done in 1 minute, or 1 second I should say. So you select the leads, you click start dialing, and the auto dialer is set off. There are other scenarios that are more popular in the telecom companies, the telemarketing companies, call centers. Let's say I have a very large call list with like 20,000 numbers, and I want to create separate call list for individual agents. That is easy to do as well. So I select leads or contacts or companies that I want to add to call list, select action, create call list, apply, and now I can create a call list. Let's call it Christmas sale, Christmas special. Here I can see which leads I've added to the call list. I can add more if I want to, and I'm going to create this list for another person. Let's, you know, Ben Franklin sounds good. So after I save the call list, it is going to be added to this agent activity. So when he or she goes to activities, the call list will be here. So this scenario is more popular for call centers or companies that do telemarketing, or, you know, any scenario where you have to create multiple call lists and split it between various agents. All right, so that is by far the most popular. Let me clock in so this thing doesn't bother me or you. This is the most popular scenario for outbound calls in Bitrix24 CRM. Let me show you more complex and more advanced scenarios. So if you go to telephony section of Bitrix24, this is the menu that you see: connection, balance, telephony users, groups, SIP phones, IVR access permissions, and telephony settings. The balance and statistics is pretty self-explanatory. You know, if you go to itemized bill, you can see all the phone calls made, whether we're inbound, outbound. You can download MP3 files. You can listen to recordings here as well if you want to. You can download call logs, and so this is pretty standard for any call center solution. You can see how much money you have, and you also have agent activity call reports as well. So connection, let's start with connection. And here you are presented with 3 options: rent phone number, connect your PBX, and connect your number. Let me go through all 3 of these options and explain what it means. This option, connect to your number, is used if you're going to be using Bitrix24 exclusively for outbound calls. So when I click connect, I will enter my phone number, and while I'll be making phone calls using Bitrix24 telephony, the one that's built in, the caller ID will display your phone number. So you need to click connect, and here you will enter your phone number, and you will receive a call, and you will have to enter verification code here. Once this happens, your caller ID will be displayed when you make outbound phone calls via Bitrix24. So that is what is really meant by connection. Some people mean that if they use this option, then they can use their phone number and everything is all of the information is important. No, this is just displaying your phone number on the caller ID for the outbound calls made through Bitrix24. And here you only need to check 2 options. This here, check for number in all CRM records. This means all outbound phone calls will be logged and attached to specific CRM records. So you will, if you make 5 outbound calls to a specific agent, to a specific client, it will all be logged. And this option here, if you want to record phone calls, you have to check this option. So for the outbound phone calls, you do not need to bother with any other setup option. Okay, connect your PBX. Suppose you already have a PBX that you want to use. Most popular PBXs that are integrated with Bitrix24 are Asterisk, 3CX has native app, Free PBX, Elastic, so on and so forth. You can connect your PBX, whether it's cloud PBX or hardware PBX, or if your telephony provider has SIP trunk, you can use our PBX connector as well. It costs only $49 a month, and we have instructions that tell you how to connect your PBX or how to use our API to integrate one telecom provider with Bitrix24 CRM. This is the most popular options if you want to receive inbound phone calls, and it allows you to rent phone numbers directly from your Bitrix24 account, and all inbound phone calls will be routed through your Bitrix24. So like I said, one of the most popular scenarios is if you are located in India or Philippines and you do most of the outsourcing work to clients in the United States or UK, you probably want to rent a local phone number and then either set up forwarding or answer to calls using your web or mobile Bitrix24 app. So, let's say I want a toll-free number for the United States. I'm going to pick 888 number. $6 gets me toll-free number in US. Let's say I want a local UK number for London. Let's scroll down. Where is London? Where is London? Okay, I see London. I just saw it. Where is it? London. Okay, so I can rent local phone number in London, 208 area code, and it's going to cost $6. There are countries like Germany where proof of residence is required. So if I want to rent a local phone number in Berlin, I will have to upload documents like a passport and the utility bill to prove that I'm a resident of Germany. Berlin is higher. Let's see, where is Berlin? Also, if you have a German business, then you have to upload verification documentation. So just be aware of the fact that for some countries you need to have proof of residence, and this is each country has individual rules and regulations regarding phone number rental. You can rent as many phone numbers as you want to, and again, each phone number comes with unlimited incoming and outbound lines. This means that you can rent one phone number and have 20 agents answering incoming calls or making outbound calls. So let me go through number configuration options, because for the inbound phone calls, this is pretty important. This is going to take probably 10 to 15 minutes, so I'm sorry if you're going to get bored, but this is quite important. So the first thing, as I've mentioned, you can add employee extensions that your clients will dial if they know the extension. And what happens if the person whose extension doesn't pick up the phone? Well, you can either forward the call to his or her mobile phone number, and we take this number from Bitrix24 employee profile, or you can play voicemail message. This option, continue call processing, really means that it will keep ringing and ringing and ringing and ringing. You can attach IVR menu to any phone number that you've rented. I will be talking about IVR a little bit later on. And these options here, they have to do with intelligent call routing. So if you have this option enabled, it means that our system will look at the phone number that the call is made from and see if it's in your CRM database. When you have this option enabled, the client who is identified by the phone number will be directed, connected exactly to his or her assigned manager. So let's say you've rented one phone number and you have 20 agents who handle 1,000 clients. So each agent has 50 clients that are assigned to him or her. So they are the account managers for these 50 clients. So when a client calls, our system identifies this client by the phone number listed in the CRM records and then connects him or her to the assigned manager. This is extremely convenient because you do not need to forward the call to anyone else. So what if this assigned agent, the account manager, doesn't answer? Well, here you have to select one of the three options. Again, you can forward it to a queue, to other fellow agents, or to the mobile phone number of the assigned manager, or play voicemail message. This option here is for automatic or manual creation of leads from new phone numbers. So if our system does not recognize a phone number, we think this isn't your current client. This is somebody who is a potential client or a lead who might become your client. So we can either offer you to create a lead for this new phone number, or we can do this automatically. Depending on how many phone calls you receive from telemarketing folks, or unsolicited or mistaken phone numbers, you may select one of these two options. This option here is another ICR. ICR stands for Intelligent Call Routing option. Automatically change Bitrix24 user responsible for the lead when manually forwarding a call. This is what it means. Suppose I'm an agent and I receive a phone call from a person, and as the conversation goes on, I understand that I'm not the best person to handle this client or answer his or her questions. Let's say I handle sales and the question is technical. So during the conversation, I will forward the phone call to a fellow employee. And when this happens, this person who I forwarded the call to will be marked as assigned for this client. So the next time he or she calls, the call will be put through directly to the person who I forwarded the call to. So because this is how intelligent call routing works. Queue settings. So queues are groups of telephony users. And here, if you work in a large company and some people handle technical support and other people handle sales inquiries. So this is the queue for tech support. I can add other employees to the queue if I want to. And here I have to select one of the 3 distribution methods for incoming phone calls. Even distribution, exactly as in queue, also known as the receptionist mode or simultaneous call to everybody. So even distribution means that each person in the phone queue will receive exactly the same number of phone calls. So if this phone number receives 90 calls, I will get 30, Mark will get 30, Alex will get 30. So the even distribution is designed to spread the workload or incoming phone calls evenly among your agents. The second option is known as the receptionist mode, and it means that the order of the calls will be exactly as included. So if 90 phone calls are received, I will be the first person to answer each and every phone call. If you've ever called a hotel or a large company with a reception desk, the receptionist always picks up the call first, and only if I'm not able to answer, the call will be forwarded to Mark or Alex. The last distribution method to everybody means that everyone's phone starts ringing at once and the first person to answer will carry on with the conversation. So this is obviously a sales or customer support scenario when you're trying to impress your clients and answer the phone as quickly as possible. And this option here determines how many times the phone has to ring before forwarding the call to the next person in queue. Of course, if nobody from the queue answers, and again, here you see the queue with 3 people, but for small companies, the queue will have only 1 person. If you work for a small company, that might be exactly the issue. So what happens if nobody picks up? Well, you can forward the call to the employee's mobile number from the profile or enter another number where the call is transferred. This is how the redirects work. If you want to rent phone number and forward all the calls to your mobile phone number, we do have instructions how to do that. And you can also forward it to another queue, but this is for large companies. You can also enable voicemail or end the phone call. So we're done with the queue settings. Let's go down the line, down the page. We do have option to record inbound and outbound phone calls. You have to enable this option here, and please be mindful of your local laws and regulations, because there are many states where you have to warn that the phone call is recorded. The quality of service assessment. This option is, I'm sure that if you've ever talked to a bank, you've heard that once you finish the conversation, you will hear a message that will ask you to rate the service. I think we actually have this option pre-recorded, so I'm going to play it for you.
Please stay on the line and provide an evaluation of the assistance you have just received. To provide your evaluation, press a number between 1 and 5, with 1 being unsatisfactory.
Okay, so you get the idea. And the reason why you need quality assessment option is because this system will automatically show you which agents work best, and if you have any agents who consistently get poor reviews. Okay, phone hour settings. Unless you're 24/7 business, you will need to specify your business hours, typically Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 or 8 to 6 or whatever. And this option here lets you select what happens when somebody calls you when you're not in business. So if somebody calls you on Saturday afternoon, what should happen? Should the call be forwarded to your phone number, your personal phone number, or should you end the call or enable voicemail? And you can upload your own message. If somebody calls you when you're closed, you can say like, thank you for calling my business, where our business hours this and this, if blah, blah, blah. So this is where you upload this message. Okay, so we do provide you with a number of messages, and you can replace them with your own if you want to. So here's the greeting message.
Hello, thank you for your call. If you know the extension of the party you wish to call, please dial it now.
We do have a recording warning message.
This call may be recorded for quality assurance purpose.
So we are done with the inbound call number settings. So just to recoup, you're able to fine-tune your inbound call processing, and it works with all popular scenarios. I'm not going to demo the inbound calls for you, but you will, when the inbound call is made, you see who's calling you. You're able to add information and comments either during the conversation or after the conversation is concluded. And one of the most popular reasons why phone calls are recorded in Bitrix24 is not what you might think. It's not for quality assurance or safety reasons. It is actually so that agents enter information about the lead after the phone call is concluded. Sometimes it's rather impolite when you talk to a person and you say, hold on, let me type this, let me add this. It's much easier to record the entire conversation and then, after you end the call, add this information to your CRM. Okay, so we're done with this. Let's talk about telephony users. If you want to assign employee extensions, this is where it's done. And this is also how you connect your VoIP or SIP phone sets. Those are, the Cisco phones that cost $200 or $300. We support those as well. Here you have instructions how to connect them. You do not need to pay SIP connector for this. This is native integration. You plug your phone, you configure extensions, you are provided with login and password, and you can start making phone calls not through Bitrix24 mobile or web application, but through your familiar VoIP phone set that sits on your desk. Okay, the telephony groups, this might be called queues by the time you watch this recording. This is, you can create multiple queues if you want to. Queues are the employees who answer the phone, and it's exactly the same. Let me call this operator queue. Exactly the same options that I talked before. Okay, let's talk about access permissions, IVR, and telephony settings. So the access permissions are very similar to the CRM access permission. It's role-based. So here, if I want to prohibit people from, or a specific employee from making phone calls, I would select access denied. I can also allow people to make outbound phone calls to any number or limit it only to numbers that are listed in the CRM. This is obviously done to prevent abuse. And here you also set, who can see what, if they can manage numbers or if they cannot. So this is the access permission. They're available starting with Bitrix24 standard plan. And you have telephony settings and IVR. So for the telephony settings, it's pretty self-explanatory. So I've made the phone calls, and you can have an option to create a separate chat for each call, or group them, or do not create chats at all. So here, let me show you. These are the phone calls that I have made that are listed here. So this is what this option is for. CRM integration. You have two options, as I've mentioned, when you want to create leads when receiving a phone call from a new phone number. You can either want to do this when the phone call is ended, or you can do it as soon as you answer the phone. So that's up to you. By default, because telephony is a critical business instrument, we automatically charge your card once your balance is approaching zero. But if you do not want to automatically auto top your balance, then turn this option off. And the last option is blacklist. Unfortunately, you may receive prank phone calls, or you sometimes competitors launch calling bots, especially if you use 1-800 numbers when you pay for incoming phone calls. In order to block the numbers that you don't want to talk to, or you don't want to pay for those calls, you can add those numbers to the blacklist. And let's get to the very last option, the IVR configuration. Excuse me. Okay, so when I call Bank of America, you've heard the IVR. IVR stands for interactive voice response. Typically, it's like, thanks for calling our business. If you'd like this, press 1. For the second option, press 2. And you can do the same thing with Bitrix24. So let me create a new IVR menu. Let's say we are an ISP provider, an internet service provider. And I will first have to upload the IVR message. And here I'm presented with two options. I can either upload audio file, or I can type the text here. And our text-to-speech engine will automatically convert this text to a message. And here you can select various languages, male or female voices, so you will be able to hear what it sounds like, the speed, the volume, so on and so forth. Also here you select what happens if no buttons are pressed, and by default the IVR menu is exited automatically if the person who calls you doesn't click any buttons for 15 seconds. So number 1, so let's say number 1, if people press 1, this is going to be a sales inquiry, so we're going to forward it to a queue called sales. If they press 2, this is for technical support. 0 is talk to operator. That's quite popular. Let's say number 3 is going to be you want to talk to accountants, and you have only one accountant, so it's going to be employee, specific employee. How about Victoria? Number 4 is going to be play the IVR menu again. Number 5 is going to be, leave anonymous message about service of quality. And if we click start button, we're going to exit IVR. Exit IVR. So here I also have to pick whose voicemail it's going to be forwarded to. So after I click save, I have added another IVR menu, and if I go back to the phone number, I can attach the IVR that I've created for this number. Okay, folks, I think this is all I want to talk about. Let me recoup you. Almost everything is free inside Bitrix24. If you want to make outbound phone calls, you have to deposit telephony credits. The telephony rates are available on our webpage. If you go to pricing section here, you will see the rates. The automatic dialer is available starting with Bitrix24 Plus plan. The IVR is available on Bitrix24 Standard and Professional plans. For the Standard plan, you can have 2 levels of IVR, and for the Professional, you have unlimited levels of IVR. I think I have covered everything that I wanted to cover. Thank you. We do not have Q&A session for this particular webinar, but you can send your questions to Bitrix24 partners. All telephony questions are handled by partners. We have partners who handle telephony specifically, like Samcom Technologies in India or Binary Elements in Australia, but all of our gold partners are able to help you with telephony questions as well. And let me remind you that we have training materials. If you go to training.bitrix24.com, here are telephony instructions for, let's say, if you want to use our SIP connector and connect it with a free PBX, or we have instructions for integration with soft phones like Zoiper. I think that's the one. And we also have YouTube channel where our videos are hosted. So here we have recordings of webinars and instructional videos. So thank you very much for attending this webinar. I hope this webinar is going to help you set up your Bitrix24 telephony. And see you next time.